This was the shit! Holy damn! This was amazing. I thought the last episode was good. This was a good one.
Yeah, this was a really good episode.
All right, so before we jump right into it, here at Popcorn, be sure to subscribe to our Pupper Pack. And, yeah, let's just jump right in.
Yeah.
Because right at the start, we got Mandalorian being like, oh, come on, Grogu, take it. And, like, there's, like, this heartfelt moment.
Well, it's such a cute moment because you don't know he's trying to get the child to use the Force yet. Because he's just like, Grogu. And the child's like... like a puppy almost, and then like Mando starts laughing, like chuckling, like he it knows its name, and then they start like practicing with the Force, which I think is really cute. It is such like a dad moment, like I don't know what to do, but I'm doing my best.
It's like, aw, this is sweet, and then the title appears, and it's like, aw, my heart.
I know, we were literally like the tragedy.
Chapter 14.
What?
The tragedy. I'm just like, ah.
I was like,
well.
no.
So he goes to the, like, Jedi outpost, or whatever you want to call it, the Sacred Rock, places him on, and he's just like, come on, do something.
And
show
go.
your powers. Crickets.
Well, not crickets,
Grogu.
butterflies.
Yeah, butterflies.
Grogu's just like butterflies.
Little butterflies. And it's just like, well, come on, kid. Oh, well. And he turns around, and then we see it.
We see the ship.
Boba Fett's ship, and I'm just like, shit's about to go down.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, yes, I've been waiting for this. Boba Fett to, like, lay the smack down. And then he's just like...
So he, like, turns around to get Grogu, and Grogu's like, just kidding, using the Force. Like, and he's like, come on, not now. Like,
yeah, and it takes a while. It's like loading a PS2 game. So he's just sitting there, and I'm just like, oh, God. And the whole time, I'm just like, the tragedy. What's the tragedy? My
I know.
stomach.
I was thinking, like, are they gonna kill Mando? Like, or pretend that Mando's dead?
Right.
Is Grogu gonna die? Is something bad gonna happen to Grogu?
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, like, the whole time what the tragedy was. You know,
Boba Fett steps out, and he's after one thing and one thing only. He's like, I want my armor.
Yeah.
I've been tracking you for a while.
Well, he didn't even say my armor. He goes, I want the armor.
The armor.
Like,
okay.
he just assumes the sale. I want the armor. And Mando's like, you're gonna have to peel it off my cold dead body. And he's like, I don't give a shit about yours. I want mine. And then I think it like clicks with Mando, like, I have an extra set of armor. like he gets the narrow eyes, you know? You can tell through his mask.
Yep.
I thought that I'm excited that they did finally bring him back. Because he was just like first episode and then just gone the whole time.
I liked that. I liked that, like,
there was like, I wish that just a tiny little droplet here or there though of like seeing him in the shadows, like knowing he's still there. Just in a way, I'm not like overwhelmingly so.
Right.
But just to be like, oh yeah, that guy. You know, instead of like that brief second in the first episode, now we're 2 episodes to the end of this, you know, the season and we finally get to see him.
Yeah, at least it's not at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Where he just appears and he's like, I want my armor. Credit rolls.
Yeah.
See you in season 3. Nah, I didn't do that.
I do appreciate how they portray Boba Fett though.
Yeah.
He is very much behaving like a Mandalorian that had his armor taken.
Yeah.
Of like, I want my armor. And the whole time Mando's like, it's only for Mandalorian. And he's like, it was my father's and now it's mine. Give it back. Like, he's just so dead serious. And in my head, I'm thinking like, come on, rationalize it. Be like, hey, listen, this is my armor.
Boba Fett
this is what happened.
Focused.
Like
he's
there
the
was
guy that caught Han Solo.
Yeah,
so.
There was no explanation though of like why he didn't have the armor in the first place. He was just like, it's mine.
Yeah, he didn't feel a reason to give it.
Yeah, and it like to me and my girl brain, I'm like, just tell him why. Communicate. But like,
express your feelings.
I know.
Man.
I know. In my head, and you're like, this is so cool, and I'm like, they're not communicating, but. At the end of the day, they portrayed him in a really cool way where it's like, he is a badass because the whole time we get to see Mando being like that badass of just like quick shooter. Like he's there a second before you are. And it's like to see Boba Fett do it better.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh shit. Yeah. He is like, he's good at what he does. And I think that was the moment that Mando saw like, yeah, that's his armor. Like,
but he's not cold and heartless. Like we see that when he, restored Faye, I think her character is, but she's played by Ming-Na Wen, who was the voice of Mulan in the good Mulan movie.
And the good one.
The animated original. And she's back, and she's got a target on the child.
Yeah. But even that can be construed as, like, he's using her. He knows that she's a sharpshooter. He needs a sharpshooter, so he fixes her. Mm-hmm. I think the moment that we see him being a good guy is at the very end of the episode where Mando's like, it's done. There's your armor. Like, we have the fair trade. And he's like, no, we don't. We said the child would be safe, and the child is not safe.
Right.
So I think that's the moment where we see, like, he does still have honor.
But why is the child not safe? Why? Because
he got baby
just
snatched.
Having Boba Fett show up wasn't enough.
He got baby snatched.
In the midst of their feud, the Empire shows up.
All the stormtroopers. Just do it, you idiot!
Oh my god.
You lost it.
That was hilarious to have a stormtrooper actually call one of their own an idiot. Because for so long, like, the running gag has been like, they can't shoot for shit.
Yeah.
They don't know what the hell they're doing.
Mm-hmm. I think they did a really good job at that, though, because they aren't, like, missing everything. Mm-hmm. So even whenever they bring out, like, the machine laser?
The turret gun?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know what it's called. But, I mean, they're close to her. They're gonna get her. But she's just a little bit faster. So I think that it really upped the ante of, like, instead of you have all these stormtroopers and you're just like, well, I mean, they're stormtroopers, so hope everyone in the distance is okay.
Boba don't need a blaster or armor yet. He's throwing down with, like, this torture device.
Oh,
I'd rather get shot.
That was rough.
Ouch.
He, like, exploded a stormtrooper just by hitting it. I was like, ooh. Like, you just see the plastic of, like, this arm. It looks like plastic, the way it breaks, but I'm sure it's supposed to be, like, some sort of metal. Mm-hmm. But it just, like, explodes. And you're like, oh, God. Like,
shoot me.
Yeah, like, you almost feel bad for the stormtrooper. You're just like, Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, God, just shoot him.
Yeah. I really like how they portrayed him, though.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think that, again, because we watched this whole thing of Mando, of him being the beast. Like, he's the best. And then you see, like, him kind of fumble a little bit when we met, like, the 3 other Mandalorian, but they're working together, like, really well. So he's kind of, like, fumbling behind. Mm-hmm. But then you see, like, Boba Fett come in, and he's just as good. He's just as fast. He, like, even just the way that they choreographed his movements, I guess. Like, he used his little knee shooters.
Yep.
And the stormtrooper behind him is like, oh, no. And he tries to run, and he's just like, got him. Like, he doesn't have to look. And we see that from Mando. So it's kind of like, for us as viewers, it's like, oh.
Oh, like, even when they flee, like, he dons the visor, I'm like, here it comes! I'm like Syndrome. I'm still geeking out about it!
He's not just the Mandalorian that fell into the Sarlacc pit. Like, he does have skills, you know?
He's a badass. And he threw down, and then it's just like, way to go, Boba Fett. You took them down. And then this laser just blows up Din's ship.
Oh, you see Razor Crest, and you're just like, I don't think he's going to be able to fix it.
It was like in Frozen. Oh, I just paid it off.
I know. I feel like he's gonna, like, collect the items and go back to, like, the shop that he's been getting it fixed at and be like,
well,
what can you do with this? She's gonna be like, son of a bitch! Like,
so Moff Gideon shows up after blowing up the ship, and he's just like, all right, retrieve the child, release the Dark Troopers.
Yeah, and they, like, Iron Man style descend onto
Scoop
the child.
Up, and then just
yeah, I mean, it, like, I'm excited they didn't make that a big battle. After everything they just went through, I think it's more devastating that Mando just didn't get there in time. Yeah. So it's like, he didn't get there in time, they took the child, there was no fight.
Right. Like, Boba was about to shoot him down, but it's just like, don't hit the kid.
Yeah.
So Boba's like, alright.
When Fee, like, said, you know, they have the child, take him down, and he's ready, and Mando's like, no, don't, like, you're gonna hurt the kid. And that's when she was like, stand down. So he goes to look at the ship, and then that's when he's like, they're back!
He's like, oh, the Empire strikes back! Again!
Again! He just hard-noped out of there. But then, honestly, my favorite part, the part that's most intriguing to me of this entire episode, is when Moff Gideon goes to see Grogu. Mm-hmm. And Grogu is, like, hurting the stormtroopers with the Force.
So he's like, going so far as torturing them.
See, and I don't know if he's
throwing them around. He's just
I don't know if he's trying
burst of emotions.
Yeah, if he's trying to actually torture them, or if he's like, I have to protect myself, I'm scared. Mm-hmm. But I like the idea of Sith Grogu, like him going towards the dark side.
Absolutely.
And they're really starting to like show that concept, even whenever the Darksaber comes out, and he's like, like, and he's like, no, not yet, you're not ready, and the child is almost like disappointed.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, but I want it, like, and then they put him to sleep.
Yep.
So it's just kind of like, I like the idea that they might actually play with him going to the dark side.
Yep. No, this was a fantastic episode. And just one more note before we wrap up. There's some levity because Boba talks to, and he's just like, let me show you something. And it's like the history of his father and like how he was a foundling. His father was a foundling, so like he carries on the creed. So in my book, he's the original Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Boba Fett is a Mandalorian. Just put it to rest.
See, and again, I want to kind of play with that, and maybe a philosopher. I've talked about it a couple times now of just doing like the Mandalorian creed, the old versus the new, with not being able to show your face or take your helmet off. So it's like maybe Boba Fett really was, a true Mandalorian throughout the entirety of the Star Wars franchise.
Right.
But he just followed the new way.
Well, after a while, George Lucas was just like, well, he's not really a Mandalorian. But there's so many like rewrites and alterations. Like there was even a book, or maybe it was a comic, where he ruled Mandalore for a while. Like he took control.
See, I don't think I'd like that very much. But it's kind of, to me, going into, is he a Mandalore because his father was?
Right.
Is the creed passed down from generation, or is it something you have to take up on your own? So look forward to that in the future.
In my book, he earned that armor, even though he did steal it back.
Yeah.
Because in the midst of throwing down,
he like looks at the ship and he's like, "That door's open. I'm gonna go find it."
And then he dons the armor.
Yeah.
Great.
It's like the epic music as he descends in the armor, and you're just like, "Oh!" Like, look at him go. So it was a really good episode. I think it's definitely one of the best episodes so far this season.
We have 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
They got to keep up in the ante because we got Cara Dune that's aware that the child's missing.
She went straight mama bear mode when Mando came in and he was like, "Hey, I want to break this prisoner out," and she's like, "I have rules now, like I'm legit," and he's like, "They have the child," and she was just like, like, you just saw motherhood, just like, she's like, screw this badge, like,
so I wonder
get my baby back.
We're gonna have Cara Dune throw down. We're gonna break out Bill Burr, and he's gonna throw down with some of his quips.
I feel like Bill Burr is just gonna be Bill Burr, like just red face, just all the time, just like just screaming at everyone. Like, I'm excited to see that.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome, and I want Gideon to use that Darksaber. Some way.
What I hope for the Darksaber is that he lets Grogu use it.
That'd be cool.
That's when we're going to see it being used, is in the hands of Grogu.
Okay.
Because that's another one you can look forward to is Sith Grogu.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? What did you think of this episode? Are we psyched for Boba being back? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you because we got 2 episodes left.
2 more. Toodles.